So I used to work with Devin when Devin served on active duty. I knew that he was a hard worker. He was always a go-getter. And then once I found out that he was getting out of active duty and getting into the real estate game, I always kind of kept that in my back pocket. And when I found out that we were moving to San Diego, Devin actually reached out to me. I reached back out to him and we kind of linked up about the home buying process and got the ball rolling on that one. We were looking to have something with a little bit of room. I know a lot of the houses here in certain areas are on top of each other, or you don't get a lot of property. We wanted a backyard space for our kids. We've got 2 small kids. We wanted a house that was almost pretty much turnkey, ready to go, so we didn't have to do a lot of maintenance to it or work to it. And then a good neighborhood, good schools, and we just started hitting the market and looking at places, and we went from there and we ended up finding this house.
I grew up here, so I knew neighborhoods, so I was really looking for something that was, that we could afford, first of all, because the market's a little bit nuts right now, so something that we could afford. And then on top of that, we really wanted some space and room to grow, something that we didn't have to put a lot of work into, but that we could make our own.
And we looked at multiple places online. We were kind of scouring what was up for sale, and we would see a beautiful house and well within our price range, but you'd go and look at the school district or the schools and it just wasn't very highly rated. So that played a big factor into our house search. And when we found, again, this house, it checked all the boxes for us. And so it just made it an easy kind of go-to and let's see if we can get an offer in. And I'll say that Devin, when we started this process, when we knew, hey, we're going to start looking, he laid it out to us flat and simple. If you find a house you like, this is what we need to do to secure it or get accepted. And had we not known that, we might have had a harder time. But, we laid it out. We had stuff in place already. My wife and I were already pre-approved. We had all of our ducks in a row. We were ready to go. So when the time came, because Devin laid out a little checklist for us. We needed this, have this all done so we find something we can go in on it. Because once you find a house, sellers review in 24, 48 hours and then that's it. So if you're not ready to go, you're going to lose out. And had we not known that, had we not been prepared and had our stuff ready, who knows where we'd be. We might not be homeowners right now. We'd still be looking, but now we own a house in San Marcos, California. We're grateful for that. Yeah, we were pretty unique. Me being on active duty, I was stationed in Houston, Texas. So we had got orders to transfer to San Diego. We knew we didn't want to rent. We knew we wanted to buy because it's almost going to equal out, and just to have equity and own a home out here, it's just something that we kind of wanted to do. We wanted to pride ourselves in owning a home in San Diego County. And so due to COVID, I was unable to travel. So therefore, we kind of had to do this sight unseen. And how we did that was, fortunately, my wife's parents live here in San Diego, so she's from here. So they were able to check out this house. We also had Devin look at it. Devin would be very helpful in FaceTiming us. Every time he came over, we'd always have live video feed of the house via FaceTime. He does this for a living, and he sees houses all day long. So even just walking through the first time we saw the place, he'd point out little things and notice little tricks of the house that were, cool upgrades and things that add value to the property, things that we could see had he not pointed it out.
But not just about the house, the neighborhood.
Correct.
He didn't just look at the house for us. He drove around. He was talking to us saying, I drove past the house. I drove through the neighborhood. I saw the school. I went here. This is a great spot. So he wasn't just giving us a house. He was giving us a feel and a vibe of the culture of the street. Buying a home is one thing, but buying a home in the right neighborhood is a completely different thing. Knowing that you're getting a home in a safe neighborhood, in a neighborhood that you're going to fit in a neighborhood that you feel comfortable in, is a completely different vibe, and it's a totally different feeling. And when you're not here physically to do it, you need to trust someone, and Devin gave us that trust, and he gave us
the confidence that we're making the right choice.
That we were making the right choice. Yeah.
But he walked us through it very well in order to understand what we were signing, what we were doing, and then just bringing in his team, which helped explain things better and kind of get us going and get the wheels turning once our offer was accepted. We're grateful for that because you signed your name to a lot of papers and you want to know what you're signing. And I would go ahead and say, I confidently would say that between Devin and the people he works with and the team he has in place, I don't think there was one thing that we ever signed or went over that we didn't have a good grasp of what we were doing because it was laid out to us.
We had all the information laid out in front of us. If we had questions, if we had concerns, there was someone to call, someone to contact, and they were in contact with us, in communication with us through every step of the way.
Nights, weekends, you name it was available.
Yeah.
I think we were fortunate, and I think it's because we chose Devin as our agent and the team he has in place that made it a smooth transaction for us. And then we had a house that was completely redone. So we didn't have a lot of issues. I mean, you have your minor home inspection things, which were rectified and whatnot, but I would say the only real kind of and it's not even a bad thing, it's just the way it is we just had to go up against multiple people for the house. But that's real estate everywhere right now, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
but if
times.
you do not have an agent that will go to work for you and fight for you and look out for you, you're gonna have a hard time getting a house right now. And we picked Devin, and I worked with Devin. I knew him, and I knew that if we found something we wanted, he was gonna do everything he could to get us in that door. And we found this house. They almost didn't want us in the door because they were so booked with showings. Devin still made his way in the door, and after 20-something offers, we own the house. And that's a testament to him and his work ethic, and how he strives to just get you what you need, get you what you want. And if it didn't work out for us, we would have been on to the next house. But we're fortunate enough we found this one, and he's like a little bulldog. You just go until he gets what he gets, and it worked out well for us.